I see I have live with no viewers. Let me be a viewer. Let me do it. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself. Let me see if I can. Me, no problem.
And hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's been a couple of weeks since we were here. I do actually have a guest with me today. Would you like to introduce yourself, mysterious person on the other side of the line?
Yes, I can introduce myself. I just have to make sure that there's no weird feedback that's happening. Okay, hello. This is May. If you have noticed me before, I'm the person who plays Fig, my lovely half orc baby. It's not a baby. He's like almost no.
He's a
He's not
grad
the
student. He's
oldest.
a baby.
It's
I say this lovingly.
yeah. It's like I'm thinking. Wait, lifespans characters. Like really, I am sort of one of the youngest.
But you're also equally as mature, if not more mature, than the others, which is quite an interesting little
Yeah,
dynamic.
but yeah, that's who I am. Hello, lovely people.
Yes, and just to confirm, May, could you hear yourself on the stream?
I believe I could. Yes. Don't mind weird feedback happening right now.
Fair enough. As long as they can hear you, that's kind of the important bit.
Yep,
Um,
I think that works.
Cheers. Well, hello everyone. As you can notice, or as you might have guessed, I have a little bit new software installed right now so that you can see, first of all, our little portraits in the, got a point where my camera can see me, in the bottom corner here so you can tell who's talking. And also, I have a guest on one of my little world building streams, which is quite fun. Today, what I had planned on doing was actually making a battle map for next week, assuming that my lovely players go to the Siren Song like they had chatted about. Um, and yeah, I was actually thinking about talking a little bit about how to write personal quests for your player characters, which is why I have my lovely May here with me as well, because Fig is kind of in the middle of his, isn't he?
He is, but he doesn't know that he is.
Which is always a very fun dynamic to be a part of. So, I
Mhm.
definitely have my own thoughts on what Fig's personal quest is, but May, I'm very curious to hear yours.
Because, okay, I have to like just remember to distinguish that in Fig's mind, he is on this sort of quest for information. Um, it was initially about the dragons and the history of the border and how those two things interact. But now, since he had, I suppose it's not like maybe various encounters with uh, people or deities or entities that are like, something's going on. He now must research this way. Um, but that's all sort of like esoteric. Sort of, he thinks that he's just gain knowledge in a certain way. But I'm like, Fig, you also must grow as a person.
Wait, Fig needs to grow as a person? I never would have guessed.
Mhm.
But yeah, no.
So yeah, that is like it is sort of like a regular D&D thing that characters get tricked into being better versions of themselves.
Very much so.
Let's see. I would
Just realized that
say
this line here isn't straight, and we're just going to ignore it and assume that it is.
you can trick your eyes. You're fine.
Yeah.
What is it? It's like, oh, I had the thought that the reason Big is so flustered by Yuka is that one, he's like afraid of like not fully public speaking, but like public speaking without having prepared a speech for like 3 weeks.
Spontaneous public speaking.
Yeah, and it's like the fact that Yuka is so like self-assured and like confident in who she is and what her responsibilities are, and that Big's just like, oh my god, you're a complete person. What?
That's quite interesting. I do think that it's a very much a person, like a force of personality.
And then
with Yuka.
I'm thinking that I'm just yeah. So I think that there is part of Fig that admires that and is like, he doesn't know that he's taking notes, but he is. About, I don't know, just, I don't know, maybe more just confidence in various life things that doesn't have to do with dragons.
That's fair. Neat. Yeah, I think it's really interesting, especially watching where Fig is going, because I remember when we were setting up your character, we gave you a little bit of like a backstory moment where you had met. We'll say for this moment in time, your patron, because it was where you found the sensor.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm very interested, and I love seeing how you play it, May, because you're very much playing it as Fig still doesn't really know what he's following and doesn't necessarily understand that that's why he has powers, which is very interesting to see happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the I'd like to investigate it, but it's not the priority at this time.
Yeah.
And the there's goo everywhere. I don't like goo. It gets on all my books.
There's so much goo. It's on every book. It's wonderful. It's on so many books. But yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And I will say, from a GM perspective, I really like your personal quest because you were one of the first ones to have a personal quest. You mentioned during character creation you didn't want Fig to know who his patron was, and that gave me a lot of free space to sort of wiggle around in and actually sort of weave Fig's personal quest into the overarching narrative, which I'm sure you've already picked up on, considering you've played in one of my games before and know how I tend to do things.
Yeah, I really like having something unknown from the first time that I have done this, and then various other points, because then it does give that freedom, and then it is something that like it doesn't have to be worked in, but then like I don't know. I love whole world building interconnections. So
Which I
there's it.
can.
I
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
like yeah, I like appreciated with Sunny's where campaign where I played a tiefling named Miriam who was an entrepreneur in the realm of cheese making, and then like I think I was just thinking I was just gonna go around and like find recipes for cheese, and then there were like clans of rival cheesemakers and like various other dairy people that popped up places, and I'm just like, oh, I'll I'll interact with those, no problem. I can do that for you.
Sunny did a great job with that. Oh, I'm sure it's. I'm sorry, somebody's having a moment outside.
Yeah,
Sunny did a great job with
there
that.
was a car.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, Sunny did a great job with that. Basically coming up with, like you said, rival cheese gangs, and giving both you, your player character, as well as other player characters, a really easy opportunity to interact with them. Which is also one of the reasons I really like tying in personal quests to the narratives as much as I do, because it's an easy way to get not only individual players to interact with them, but also the rest of a party, which is very fun and can lead to some very like comedic moments, but also some really nice overlap moments between a lot of the different players. And that was actually one of the things I'm going to sort
Yeah.
of reveal a little bit of the Sunny K thought process here. Sunny K was actually really concerned after the last Yuka arc that we did that she was taking up too much of the game time. So I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts, May, on how you view sort of the Yuka death and resurrection arc.
I mean, anytime there is a player that is, I would say, like, has some like vulnerable times, or in this case, a full on death sort of scene, I would say there is going to be a little bit more focus on that character no matter what. And I think it was maybe Sunny was, I don't know, because she like got into continuing this action with Vassal,
Mm-hmm.
it might have seemed like there was a lot of like trying to recover Yuka and interactions with that, but like because it was technically a different character, I was like, yeah, no, sure, whatever, I'm good with it. And it's like I think it's always good to have some sort of motivation to get to point A from point B. Um, Otherwise, you can have like lots of little plots going on, but one, we don't want to split the party. Don't do it. Nobody.
Please don't
And
split the
then,
party, I am begging you.
so I don't know. I appreciate having like I don't know, very at least some large motivation to get players from point A to point B.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad to hear it.
And it is like I think it was also that because our starting area per se was like around Yuka's, I would say, home or home base, that there were just going to be more interactions there anyway. So by adding all of those things up, it might have seemed like a lot, but I think it sort of just happened like that.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Oh, I found a trapdoor. That's really useful for the map. Didn't need to use the big staircases. Yeah, no, I'm glad to hear that. Especially in regards to it giving the party, I guess, a reason to do things, which is really nice. You haven't, latched onto any doppelgangers yet, so I'm glad that I'm not retreading that plot point. But yeah, no,
No,
it's
now I'm
really. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
like, now that you mentioned that, now I wonder if there's a line somewhere in Fig's resources that it's like, there may or may not have been doppelgangers. We will never know.
I love the concept. So for viewers watching, this is a bit of a running gag. The first instance of Garunk I ever DM'd, I put in a single like monster of the week enemy, which was a doppelganger, and the party that May was in decided that this meant that the entire government was infected by doppelgangers, like they were taking over everything from the top down. And because they were really, really excited about this, I did in fact make this the case. Um, but I like to joke about it because I told them afterwards that, like, yeah, there were never any doppelgangers there until they got excited about it. So I think it's really funny that Fig just doesn't know, 350 years later, if there were or weren't doppelgangers, despite the massive
When-
TSA screenings they have now.
And that there are legitimately people alive who could probably like witness and tell me this.
Yeah, there definitely are. You could probably just, well, I guess you don't know him yet, but the current head of Ironcliff would 100% know that there were doppelgangers, because he was trained actually by the Hoscati from back then, who almost got doppelgangered actually.
Yep.
Yeah. No, but I hope you guys are gonna really like this next arc, because it's gonna go into a lot more of the not only the Fig stuff, because the Fig stuff is gonna be sort of the slow burn plot that I've got planned. But I'm actually hoping that this is going to start pulling out a lot of Throgan's personal arc as well. I don't want to share too much about that right now because obviously you're a player and I'm sure you're going to want to be surprised by it a little bit.
Yep. So, as a player, this is currently what I know about Throgan. Hopefully, I think it's all been said in game, where they were a dwarf, or they are a dwarf, but were then unfairly transformed, as they say, into a. Is it like a full like Aarakocra?
It's Kenku.
Kenku, that's what it is. It's like there are two bird people. I know.
In D&D, there are
I
in
know
fact two bird
those.
people. Yes.
So yeah, into a Kenku, and that it's like they've been searching for it. We've got one singular item from the merchant, which is said crystal orb, which will come into play somewhere.
Yeah, hopefully soon. The crystal orb is, I think this has also been said in game, so I'm gonna share it here. And if it hasn't, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Feather. But the crystal orb is actually what Throgan used to scam the caster in the first place.
Oh, yes, I believe so. I've heard that. I am wondering if that was out of game or in game, but
I think it was
I am
in-game,
aware of this.
because I think
Yes.
it was when you guys found it, Throgan ended up explaining what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's an interesting little item that I'm hoping is going to get you guys to ask a few very specific questions, especially actually in regards to an item that you're carrying, Fig. But I'm not going to say anything more about that yet.
I mean, if you wanted to, I can explain my thought process.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So yeah, along the lines of Rogan receiving the crystal ball from the merchant, Fig has received a very interesting book from said merchant, which he was very excited to have, mostly because of its connection to his research and the fact that there have been mentions of a sort of rose book in that way. And it's so this has been a while since it was in play, but our current rest time, Fig has been researching the what's the I don't know. What's the goo man? I
The
don't.
Goo Man?
I remember. Tragedium. That's it.
Yes.
Um. mhm. So he's been researching that where he currently is in the library, and then he's sort of, I think, keeping the book sort of to himself because it is again his personal um quest, and then I think he also feels a little bad about the detour toward the dragon statues.
Really? Okay.
That he's like, yeah, it's like, I don't
Is it
know, there
because he
were a
thinks
few
nobody else
mentions
wanted
of
to
like you
detour that way?
um no, I think there were like a few comments about, oh, you did a detour, or and then I don't know,
Gotcha.
there were also once they befriended Jeremiah, he felt bad about killing his fellows.
Which is interesting because I
'Cause,
don't know if anyone else does actually feel bad about that.
I mean, May, I do not, but Fig might.
I at least accept that the Fig feels bad. That's good to know.
hmm Or maybe not feeling bad might not be the accurate thing, but he knows it's might feel real awkward if he ever encounters Jeremiah again, which he does want to do just so that he can get confirmation about what Tragedium said um about Jeremiah.
Oh yeah, that he's
So,
okay.
hmm
Makes
so it's
sense.
like because Fig feels he needs to encounter Jeremiah again, he feels awkward about killing his brothers.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. So that book that you've got, I will say, it's a very interesting item because you actually like DM'd me this week or 2 weeks ago. It's been time. That
Time.
you wanted to use it, and I remember that you had basically written a question that you wanted to ask the book. And I do think I wrote back that it wouldn't do anything.
Yeah. So it's the Fig has taken so much energy and May has taken so much energy to craft that one question that I can't think of two other questions at this point in time that I want answered.
I love that.
So
Okay. Yeah,
it's
because I was
the
very
we
curious as to your plans with that, considering like I think I
Mhm.
told you in game the whole crux behind that book. So I'll also
Yes,
mention it
yes.
here so that the
I'm
audience also knows. Basically, with the book,
mhm.
you have to put 3 questions into it before you'll receive any answers. And this is very specifically because Fig has really been good. Like Fig, May, you as Fig, have really been saying a lot about the rule of threes, and I thought it was very, very interesting to basically have something that was linked to that rule.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
No,
really look forward to seeing what
I'm
else goes in the
I'm good with
book.
threes.
Hmm.
Mhm. But it is the fact that I I crafted that question like over multiple like what should I say sessions that I'm like at this point that I'm like ah, I have to think up more questions.
I mean, I never said they had to be important questions. I just said they had to be questions.
Yeah, I know. I think it's gonna be like two important ones and then one that's just gonna be like what is Yuka's favorite color?
Green. Next question. I don't know if that's. I have no idea if
Yeah,
that's true. Please do
exactly.
not quote me on that.
So yeah, I'll get back to you eventually. But
Yeah,
yeah,
no worries.
at this point, both Fig and myself are. I appreciate riddles, but then it's like, this is my own personal riddle, so I can't get advice on it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. It is. I really look forward to seeing what you guys are going to do with that. Mostly because this is one of my personal favorite items. So I'm really, really curious as to how you'll end up using it. Well, that and the cursed sword that nobody picked up in session 1, but no, c'est la vie. Nobody wanted a free magic item. I mean, I guess I can't blame you.
Let's see, was this before or after we got attacked by the dog?
This was immediately after the dog. It was in the basement.
Sure. Yeah, so maybe that was part of why we were cautious. And
I mean, I understand why. I'm not upset about you guys being cautious. I actually am really glad you took that lesson away. No, it's actually gotten to the point where I need to decide if I still want that item to be what it is in the notes, or if I want to sort of reshuffle around the magic items a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I will also cheat. I think I've told you this before, May, and if not, congratulations, you learn now. I'm not above cheating in this game. I think cheating to make a better story is sort of the point, for lack of a better term. So I will cheat if it makes the story better. And if that means that you guys get a cool magic item, I'm gonna just shift that around in the world a little bit.
I'm like, you're the DM. How can you cheat if you're the DM?
Because I can say that haste does actually just double your movement speed instead of adding your base movement, because Jeremy Crawford would actually tell you wrong.
Rules? Those are just words put in a line.
They are words put in a line, and we can make them better if we want. Does this look like a bar? Is this?
I mean, once I've figured out that those were chairs and not like weird, I don't know, robots, then yes.
That's fair. They might even be weird robots. This is where Taffy used to live. Taffeta. But yeah. No, it's quite fun. I'm really glad to hear that you guys are enjoying. Yeah, as for personal quests, like yours was a really easy one for me because it was sort of the first one that happened, so I got to tie a lot of the main quest into it. Cams has actually been giving me a lot of difficulty because I am talking to Rose about, hey, yeah, what does Cam want? What are your goals for this game? Because I really also like to tie whatever your goal as a player is to your character's personal quest. And Rose is very much just I just kind of want to sit here and have fun because I hear good things about your games, which is really great, and I'd love to hear it. It does make planning a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
However, with the fairy circle thing from last session, I'm actually wondering if I want to try and shunt you guys towards the Feywild doll.
It's like, yeah, no, I think a few other instances of like getting characters to interact more, it's like, I would say, like bringing in like relatives is a really easy way to do that because it's like, no, you must interact with them. They are family. Whether or not that includes people in the Fae realm or not, we'll see.
Well, I know at least one relative is likely in the Feywild, which is very fun. But yeah, this part looks far too nice for being half underwater. I suppose that's the siren blood that's just everywhere.
Or you could just like have chairs just not nicely by tables if you didn't want to fiddle with that.
That's actually a really good idea. I'm gonna start doing that. Throw tables in locations.
Or they're just all piled in one corner and that's it.
I mean, the entire wine cellar is going to be underwater, so I hope you don't want me wine. I think that looks
I don't think
enough like a bar, right?
No.
so Cam's personal quest has given me a little bit of issues. So while I'm thinking about that, basically the way I'm going about it is, like I said, what does the character want, but then also what does the player want? Is sort of how I tend to think about these personal quests. Throgan's is easier for me to figure out because Throgan's is very much a Throgan wants to be unbirded, and I think Feather also. Well, Feather has told me over and over again that they want to meet one very specific NPC I have, which is he. For those of you who are not aware, he is basically my channel icon and is a recurring NPC I have throughout a bunch of different games. That said, I've not actually decided quite where that's going to happen yet or how that's going to happen. So I'm very much just sort of taking it as it goes for now. And seeing mostly what you guys think is going to be fun. Work.
Yeah.
We can use that as a kitchen counter. Other than that, we talked about Yuka's personal quest a little bit as well. Yuka's personal quest is a very interesting one for me because it was not planned at all. That was very much a Yuka is dying, oh no, I know how much Sunny K wanted to play that character. And I felt really bad about having Yuka die that quickly. So I was really glad that you all sort of picked up that quest and were ready to go with it. And work on actually getting Yuka back. It was really nice to see and really made my job as a DM a lot easier that you guys were willing to just go with that.
Yeah, and I think it is that
Go ahead.
because it was such an early, the consequences of our actions have already appeared. But yeah, because it was such a early, no HP something needs to happen. I think it is that did sort of to me it does sort of make sense as it we're this untested band of people that have not worked much together, that of course something's gonna happen that does not work out quite the way we want. And that I don't know, I think at least in Fig's mind where it's like, oh my god, we did this together, this was a triumph of teamwork. But Fig is very happy about that. Yeah, thinks that the first time that somebody got hurt that we were able to fix it, and that it does sort of help her caution in various future hopefully combat scenarios. That because I know it has affected how I play the game and the spells that I've taken as I've leveled up, where it's no, I would like protection from various ailments, please.
Which I am very, very glad you picked up.
And it's I think it was just a little taste of what can happen, and I think that's a good thing for newly made party of adventurers to have.
That was actually one of the things that it was my personal goal for that combat, was to show you guys that consequences are going to be real this time. A lot of my other games, and the reason I bring up a lot of my other games in this case is because you, Feather, and Sunny K have all played with me before. Feather played with me in a Call of Cthulhu game, and then you and Sunny K have played with me over a bunch of D&D games, as well as a Call of Cthulhu game. And you know that I tend to be a very forgiving DM. I think we've had only one player death that ever stuck, and that was actually May, a player death with one of your characters in Cyberpunk game I ran. Yeah. Which even then, I remember going to and being like, hey, by the way, you can always come back from death. That is a thing that I allow in all of my games. There will be a consequence for dying, but dying is not necessarily the end of your story. Do you want to bring your character back?
And I was like, nah, let her die. We're going out with a blaze of glory. Let's go.
I mean, dying in an explosion in Sahara, definitely not Amazon's office building, is certainly a blaze of glory. Oh, hey, Escaton. Thank you for telling me that our background stuff is a bit funky. Thank you very much for that. You can just boost that a little bit. I didn't want to get the background music too overwhelming compared to us, so cheers. Also, welcome back. It's been a while since I've seen you in chat. Yeah, no, your character went out in a massive blaze of glory, and it was really fun to see. So I wanted to make sure that when I was starting this campaign, where it was going to focus so heavily on like illness and disease and stuff like that, that I wanted you guys to be prepared to know that like no, character death could happen here. The choices you make could very, very much be like permanent. So I'm glad to hear that that came across to you as well as a player.
Mhm.
Yeah. Let's just do this one like this. Oh, now I have to figure out how to put like 5 people in a house that was meant to house one single bartender. Lise, Rock, why do you do this to me?
Let's see, did they have any building additions?
Technically, the 3rd floor was not supposed to exist at all. So, yes?
There you go.
No, Lise built this bar with her bare hands. Mostly despite the Navy. But you know, that sounds about right for her. I think what I can do is I think DeVry and Cassius are just gonna have to have shared a room. Because that'll be the easiest thing for me to design and still give them like a decent living room.
Wait, okay, sorry. It's
Yeah?
they should just have hammocks that are along the wall, and then when they go to bed, they have to rehang them up.
That's adorable. Alright, now I need to see if I can find a hammock stand.
Or you can just do the tapestry, and then that's a hammock. It's a hammock now. Wall hanging curtain. I don't know.
That's adorable. Oh no, tapestry also isn't included. Okay. Let's see what we've got here.
Rug. Where's a rug?
Anything, please do. Oh, we've got tents I could probably use. I think I could use a tent as a hammock, right? Yeah, I'll use a tent as a hammock. That'll work. That's actually a really fun idea. Thank you, May. Actually, don't make it smaller. It is still a hammock.
It's the I will make Lise revisit her days in the Navy every single chance I get.
As she would have despised. Thank you, May. Yeah. No. So to explain these names we're throwing out a little bit. Lise and Rock were 2 characters from the first edition of Gurunk, which is sort of the 300 years ago version of this game. This bar is actually a bar that was owned by one of the player characters after the end of their adventuring career. That player character being Lise. She was a pirate. She was massively in debt to the Navy, which was sort of actually the main plot of that last game was all of you were in debt to the Navy. You were criminals. So it's quite fun to re-examine that. Oh no. Oh, this bed is ratty and disgusting. Perfect.
Like, there are different versions of it, but yeah, if it got flooded, then
I mean, to be fair, this is supposed to be, a flooded house. I can imagine that, keeping the sheets clean was not priority numero uno.
Yeah. Of course, I'm just like the fireplace so close. It's now a fire hazard.
It's not a fireplace; it's a chimney. So it's on the outside of the house.
Suppose,
So
okay.
maybe it should be fine, right? Right? Maybe.
Well, yeah, everything's a top-down view, so.
Yeah. I don't have any sort of sofa or anything, so they might just have to have wooden chairs, which seems unfortunate.
All the cushions got washed away.
Yes. Ignore that they're on the top floor. It's fine.
Oh, maybe there's a hole in the roof now. I don't know.
Maybe there is a hole. You know what? I didn't even think about. I didn't even think about that. Maybe there's a hole in the roof. Yeah. No, so it's really
Yeah,
really
anything
quite
you want.
interesting to sort of see where you guys go with this quest.
Yeah, I will say, I don't know, one of my favorite parts about D&D and everything, where it's like, you want something to happen? I will make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, I always think it's more fun to have
no matter what.
positive. I think it's more fun to have opt-in than opt-out play, I guess is the best way to describe that. Because yeah, if you guys say that a thing would be cool, I'm mostly excited to see how you guys would react to that thing. For example, Lord Bastille and Lady Verdant was actually something I'd worked really closely with Sunny K on, because those were two creations of Sunny K for Yuka. And so being able to basically, we logged off after, what was it, session 3 or so, where you first meet them, and have Sunny K just go, Lord Bastille is incredible, I love him, was very fun for me as a GM as well. So yeah, if you ever have a thing you want me to put in game, like, I will do my best to make sure that that is a fun experience for you, because that is what I like to do as a GM. No, it's quite nice. Aside from that, like, I actually had a whole thing planned with Jeremiah. I had fully expected you guys,
Yes.
because you had captured Jeremiah, to actually go back to the bandit camp. And I had like a whole battle map set out. I had done a whole live stream where like I had worked with chat on figuring out what we were gonna do, on like talking through all of the different options for how that plot was going to go. And you guys were just like, no, we are going to turn in the flowers. And I went, oh. I was planning on you guys getting distracted by random things. Okay. So that battle map now exists in like the library somewhere where it's like, oh, maybe one day this will be used, but for now it's just a random bandit camp.
Yeah. When you think your players want to go investigate every single random thing, but they're like, nope, main quest, let's go.
You guys really did say main quest, let's go. Wow. I've never had such studious players before. But yeah, it'll be quite interesting. I'm also wondering at this point how long I want to keep this campaign going. Not because I don't like playing it, but just because we're on session 8 will be our next session. And you guys have now hit your first sort of like arc completion, for lack of a better word, with resurrecting Yuka. And so I'm trying to figure out if I want to have basically this arc be the last arc of the game, or want to have this one be like Act 2 of 3. So May, thoughts on that?
It's like, to me, it does sort of depend where this arc does take us, and it is, to me, like, I'll say in my mind right now, of like having like either like found the source of Tragedium and like the disease, or like giving that knowledge to the right person to take care of it would, like, to me, sort of be oh, we could end this, and that, like, oh, okay, the world's not gonna fall into disrepair or disorder.
Yeah, that
And
makes
it's like,
sense.
because it's I don't necessarily need to have all, like, the player or the character personal stories, like, if we don't fully complete all of them, but it's like all of them should have a chance to, like, go toward them at least. Um, but it could also be that, like, the main, I suppose in this way, campaign could end, and you could still, like, have an event with, like, Throgan or Chamomile that, like, has them, oh no, personal quest going, or even for Fig too. It's like he doesn't have to find out. He could keep the mystery, and then he's got to go back to college for another 3 years before he finds out. I don't know.
Look, he has to get his PhD. He's not gonna find out before he gets his PhD. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
No, that's good to know. I think the way it's going is I'm hoping you guys will figure out a little bit more about the illness in this arc. Though it will probably be a longer arc than you because Resurrection, just because it's going to be a little bit more complex.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will just say from like a planning perspective, I don't think you guys are going to figure out both what the illness is and how to fix it in the same quest line. I think it might take a
Yeah.
little bit longer than that. Which I hope is clear enough in how I've been DMing that, like, oh, this is a complex issue. We're not quite sure where it's come from yet. Also, I've completely forgotten the researcher's name that I gave you guys last session. Like Harold or Horace or the guy. But I've now come up with like his whole deal and who he is as an NPC, which is very fun for me.
I may or may not have it written down because I just have post-it notes and not typed up notes because we just did voice and video last time, so
Yeah. I'm sure if I go back and watch the bot, I'll find it again. It's just my notes were not in the Foundry because we weren't using the Foundry last time. So, I'm
yeah.
in danger. Anyways, I think those are pretty good tavern maps.
Yes.
A little bit empty in the basement, but I don't think that's gonna be that bad a thing, I hope.
Cover it with water. If you wanted to put a few crates in, I don't know.
Just put some like long bookshelves down here and say they're crates. Or weapon stands. It's probably a weapon stand, isn't it?
Oh no, the weapon stand has to go in the home, so it's right near when you need it.
Oh no, that's what this chest in the bedroom is for.
Ah, got it.
You know, normal things for a pirate household. But yeah. No, I'm gonna call that good. I'm just actually let me very quickly hide my screen in case it shows up any funny personal information.
Actually, okay.
No.
I did not actually realize the perspective of the lower bar from the upper bar, but then I did see it, and I was like, oh, nice.
Nice. I'm glad you like it. I'm hoping that you guys will do some funny flanking maneuvers, or not flanking maneuvers, but like direction maneuvers. If I give you that.
I mean, someone's gonna fall off a railing. I think that's what's gonna happen.
I think somebody's definitely going to fall off that railing. The bigger question is, will you guys mean to fall off the railing? Fair enough. asked you this question before. I know a lot of your answers to this one already, but I'm going to do this hot air so that people can hear it if you want to know how I tend to do things. Fig, May, rather, is there anything you do not want to see in Fig's character arc? Oh no. What
Um,
was?
if you could say it again, I think I heard May to you, and
Oh
then
no.
nothing else.
Yeah, so I said May. Is there anything you do not want to see in Fig's character arc?
Hmm. Hmm. Like, I've thought about a little bit about having NPCs from his college days, aka like the past, I don't know, 7 years of his life, come around.
Okay.
And it's the I don't know if like trying to think how they would interact with Fig. Because it's I don't want them to like be I don't know. How do I describe this? Sort of the everyone knows that like Fig has this goal, but it's like they're not like demeaning to him about it. It's
Mm-hmm.
just that they're not interested, and they like make that clear that you've got your own goal. Sure, you can go for it. It's just we're over here and we need to do our own thing, so we can't help you at this point.
Sure.
Versus like someone who I don't know. What would be the opposite of that? But
It's
not
not
the opposite
necessarily.
of that.
I guess it's not they're excluding you because they want to. It's more they're excluding you because they just don't have enough time.
Hmm. Yeah. So it's
No,
not
that
like
makes
a
a lot of sense.
personal slight against Fig. It's just that they're academics and that they've got their own thing happening, and it's not like a secret or a surprise to Fig about that. Like he's aware that this is occurring.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. I'll make sure to stick away from that then. Um, yeah. Let's see if this is gonna work. I have a map. I fear this map may be too small. Ah, it's a 30-foot by 30-foot room. You could cast Fireball if you really want to. Is that not how you measure rooms? Or, let's just schmoove this over so that chat can also see what I'm now looking at. There we go. Good to hear that the music balance is back under control. Good to know. Good to know. Let's just make the grid size a little bit smaller so that the room is a little bit bigger. And then the room is now 45 foot across. So you could still cast Fireball and not get hit. Perfect. I don't know why Fireball is my judgment there. But yeah, no, I'm really glad to hear it. Especially looking at sort of what I had planned out for Fig. I can definitely throw in a couple more contemporaries because that is not necessarily something I had planned already, and Baratar is actually a great place for that to happen because there are things happening in Baratara that, you know, archaeologists would have loved to see, or would love to see, and would be, exploring.
Hmm.
But yeah, it'll be quite neat. I think it'll go well. Where's the not invisible walls? I want like normal walls, please. There we go. Basic walls.
Whereas I will say now, I'm just thinking about does any character have fireball?
I don't think any of you
No.
have fireball. I think Throgan is the only person who
Mhm.
could maybe get fireball.
Mhm.
Because you don't have it, and I wouldn't expect you to have it.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
I don't think the druids can get it.
Mm-mm.
I would trust that an artificer could at the very least try, you know?
Mhm.
They fall into the you could always try category.
Mm. Oh, what is it? I've I think yeah, since we've leveled up, I don't think we've had like a true combat yet. So it's like I think I've got like spectral weapon or spiritual weapon, whichever one it is.
Spiritual
That's
weapon.
like
I'm really glad you picked that one
yeah,
up. That's a cleric classic. TM.
yeah, no, I'm like yes, I want to use this so badly.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No,
And also, I'm hoping it's good against goo things. Anyway,
I
and that'll be
actually should
and
probably assign some weaknesses and resistances to the goo things.
because
So thank you for that
it is
reminder,
that
May.
yeah.
Yeah.
People don't know Fig and I have been similar that like we're sort of going down the list trying to see what this is and is not. Disease or goo or poison or illness or disease or I don't know. Now we're getting into the see. Are you very demonic? I don't know. We'll see.
It is
We're going down the
certainly
list.
a thing.
Hmm.
I'm very interested to see how you guys end up sort of dealing with it. But no, I think with the next place you're going, because you're going to go to the Siren Song, I think was what you talked about last session. And then
Yep.
heading up towards some of the fancier houses. Was that to find people who were still living, who might have resources?
There is no, there was mention of a place that it either like seemed to converge from the illness or
Yes, the
that like
asylum. Yeah.
mhm.
Absolutely correct.
So
Can't even remember
I
what
believe
I say exists sometimes.
that was our like either we're gonna try to get there or just or I think it was like try to get there and maybe find people along the way if they need help.
Yeah. Yes, because this was going to give you more information on that. Okay, yes, I remember. I remember what 3 weeks ago Valentine was thinking about. Oh,
A
sometimes you
very
just.
difficult thing to do.
Oh, I didn't put my notes on the Foundry tabletop because I was tired after the session. Really should have done that because now I don't have them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Notes are important.
Notes are
Anybody who's
important.
I don't know, learning anything or trying to recall anything. You think your brain might remember. It won't.
No, it will not. It in fact will not. But yeah. No, I can absolutely throw in some more Fig contemporaries here if you wish, because that is easily a thing to be done. So other questions that I would have asked, or that I would have asked that I think I have asked already. I know a while back we chatted about what would you find cool to have in Fig's personal quest line. And I do also remember that I sent you the deity that Fig does actually follow, and just confirmed that with you that that deity was okay.
Mhm.
I was actually wondering, do you want me to speed up Fig's discovery of that at all? Because right now it's been very slow, but I
Mhm.
can absolutely make that a bit more of a faster thing if you want.
Um, I will say, going back to me writing questions in said Rose book,
Yeah.
that I am mostly using that for my own personal character quest. So I think one of that will be more surrounding Fig's thing. So you will get further questions on that that hopefully
Okay.
turn into answers.
Good to know. Good to know. Yeah. Nice. Then I will stay a bit hands off on that then and let you judge how fast you want that to go yourself.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it's gonna go quite neat. I feel really good about this next little bit. I do still need to figure out what monsters I want you guys to sort of come into contact with.
Hmm.
Whoops. It's almost like those are a thing that
Um,
you also need for
how
combats.
many sea creatures can we find? How many sea creatures can we find?
I think if I put in an octopus for you guys to fight, Sunny K might actually cry. I can't do that to her.
Let's see, starfish. Let's do a starfish.
Oh, let's see if I can find a starfish. That's a good shout. Let's see.
Mostly because you cannot kill what is unkillable.
So I have tragic news, unfortunately, May. Because I
Hmm.
updated the Foundry tabletop, it actually uninstalled my bestiary.
Oh no.
So we're gonna have to do this a little bit of the old-fashioned way, and just go to my beloved website, my beloved webbed site. Let me just there we go. Hello. And now check for giant starfish or something. I know that there are dinosaurs. I don't think I want to throw you guys a dinosaur yet.
Hmm.
That seems a little bit too big for you guys. Starfish.
Let's see. I'm just trying to think what would have like a animal would have comparable things like sea urchins would be like
Urchins? There's a giant
spike
crayfish.
things. Ooh.
That thing looks terrifying. I like it.
Cray- I mean, I suppose crayfish are they could be sort of salt marshes type of thing. They don't have to be just freshwater.
Yeah, because I am also looking at brackish water here. I think I could run with a
Mhm.
giant crayfish, and then if nothing else, say that it's an invasive species. I'm sure I could also just filter.
Mhm.
Sorry, star horror? What is that? It's a plant. That's quite an interesting
That's
creature anyway.
lawful evil.
You don't want to fight it? You don't want to fight this and say it's a barnacle?
I mean, here you go. Oh no, the fact that it can move?
It can
Ugh, no,
move.
don't let it move.
It can move.
No, no, I don't like that. I don't like that.
That's fair. That's fair.
Mm.
Um,
Even though it's like, I'd be fine if it like moved at like the pace that corals can move, which is not in the lifespan of humans.
yeah. Or how about I search by
Mhm.
coastal? That might make more sense.
Mhm. Crab.
Uh,
Sorry.
what?
Everything turns into crab.
Everything is crab. I want to put.
Mhm.
You guys are level 3 right now.
Mhm.
I'm gonna gonna put maximum CR at 2 then. There is a crab. We could become crab.
There's a giant crab.
There's a giant crab. You could become even more crab. How big is that boy? Oh, he's only an eighth. Oh, I could give you a bunch of crabs. It's just an infestation. Don't worry about it.
So now I'm like, ooh. Sorry.
Actually, I think I might do that. That sounds like a good idea. Give you guys a little crab, and then also give you guys a bigger monster.
Sea hag.
Sea hag. I love sea hags. They're good. But yeah.
Like, it is true that, like, of all the D&D I've played, I haven't done like a lot of like oceanic type of critters or beings, etc., like merfolk or otherwise.
It takes a very specific type of campaign in order to make those work, I think. And that's just not something that we've been playing so far. Yeah, no, it's quite fun. I'm quite interested. Maybe I should make you guys a map for the sick house. I don't know. I feel like I know you guys well enough to not go into combat there.
Yeah, because I think. Okay.
Yeah.
There are multiple different buildings. So currently we're in the library, which has people that are sick, but it's not the asylum, which is.
There are actually no people that are sick in the library. That's why they quarantined you when you guys first showed up.
Okay. But the guy said there were other people there that we could talk to.
Yes, there are.
Okay. But I do recall someone saying like, oh, we could see what we could do for the people that are sick. So is there like something attached to the library that has sick people, or is that just no?
It's
on a retcon there isn't.
It's more like this is where a lot of the sort of brain power is currently stationed, because it has the connection point to the rest of the continent, along with a lot of the research. So it's more of people are here because this is where you need to be to get help, or like to be of help. Because you could go and, sit in the sick house, but then you are at risk of plague.
Yep.
Which, may not be the best choice when plague is actively making people forget who they are.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Who am I to know? Who am I to know what the correct choice is?
Yeah, it's not like you're the DM or anything.
No. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not one of those. Let's just add some light ever so quickly. You're not going to get a lot of it, but you are going to get a little bit.
Sorry, I think the cellar should just be full of crabs and we just don't go down there.
Just do not go in the cellar. It's only crabs. I do like that. I do like the crab cellar. But yeah.
It's like, yeah, in our party, there isn't like... I mean, we've got Throgan who will steal stuff, but I don't think any of us are very, I don't know, tavern-going people. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Throgan is really the only one. Well, actually, I say that. Cam probably frequents the tavern, if only for dinner. Because Cam does strike me as the type of person to work themselves to the bone and then just need to get food somewhere.
Or scoping out potential rich clients. Anyway.
Also scoping out potential rich clients. This is true. All right, I'm just gonna assume that all 4 of you are gonna like go through the door at the same time. And just sort of put you on the map. Yes, this makes sense, but why can none of you see?
We need some source of light, right? Or no? Any
Oh yeah,
windows?
Shogun
You
doesn't
need
have dark
windows?
vision. Lamau. That's probably why you can't see.
I think it's some. I think should.
I think Fig has dark vision.
Yeah.
I think I need to just change the universal illumination a little bit. Let's try this. Not quite. Oh well, I might just have to fully light this whole thing and let you guys believe where things are. Or believe when you know things and not, you know? Oh well. But anyways, there's a map. There's a map for next session.
Yay! We love maps.
I also love maps. It's quite a funky little one. Yeah, other than that, is there anything you actually wanted to share, May, while we're just sitting here chatting about the game? No is also a valid answer if you have nothing else you want to share.
I mean, I don't know. Everybody has questions about Fig that they'd like to turn into canon because then I have to answer them.
That's fair. Yeah, chat. If you've got questions about Fig, feel free to shoot them out. I'll actually watch chat like closely for the next little bit. Yeah, no, fair enough. I'm quite interested to see how Fig ends up reacting in these next few places, especially with his protection from poison and disease. I think that was a very good spell for you to pick up. I'm very proud of you for picking it up.
It is like, I don't know. I never have like fully fleshed out characters. It's always the once I get a question, then I have to know how do they respond. And that's sort of how I pick up certain character traits about them.
That's fair. Okay, I've got a question. What department did Fig dislike the most in his studies?
I mean, I think now I have to know which departments there are.
Make one up. Magical studies exist.
It's the I went straight to disliking I mean, I think any magic user just like knows to rag on sorcerers just for like a little bit.
Yeah.
And so if there's like a class that's like the feeling within you, I don't know, about like just willing magic to come into being, Fig's just like, really? Of course.
That's fair.
It's an easy A too, so he doesn't like it.
Fig does not like GPA boosting classes. You heard it here first, folks.
Let's see. But a full department, that's like, it doesn't really matter what the classes are, the subject. It's the staff, which makes or breaks a department.
Okay.
So let's put in just full on like historical studies, because that's just, there's some really old staff on there that um they can't quite get to leave.
Oh, okay.
And it's like they keep on talking about like events that happened like I don't know, 1,000 years ago, and Fig's just like it's dude, it's so long ago. It's not relevant right now.
I don't care about the 8,000 years ago, Harold.
hmm
Oh, that's good. That's very. Oh, actually, yeah, there's probably just like one Dragonborn who was actually there, like, during the first Elven invasion.
hmm
Oh, no. Oh, that's bad. Yeah. Yeah, he's still on staff.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and he still goes like to rooms that are no longer like in their department, but he doesn't recognize that there's somebody else's department rooms now.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Mhm.
Fair enough. You've not got any questions from chat, by the way. So, I think you're off the hook
Yep.
today, May. That's very fun. I like that. Maybe I have to throw in some historical department somewhere just for you.
Also, now I want to look up um other creatures that would just like exist in
You just
like
want some more crabs?
that, and then like wonder if there's just like I wonder if we have like a friendly department mimic that's just like, here, I'll feed you all of my paper.
Oh, yeah, yeah, no, it's the paper shredder. It's how you get rid of things.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm
hmm
sure he exists, and I'm sure he's well loved and named Kevin.
hmm
Or Todd. I don't know.
It's Kevin. No, it's Kevin the Crusher.
It's Kevin, okay. Okay, it is Kevin.
Mhm.
Oh no. What? It was like 0.3 opacity, and then it was roughly this color water, I hope. Sorry, I'm trying to show that the bar is underwater.
Mhm.
Or partially underwater. But yeah. Neat. I think that is about all from us today, though. It's been about an hour and a half, so we will start heading off here. May, since you were my lovely guest this evening, do you have anything else you want to share before we head off? Any plans for next week? Any hopes for the campaign? Anything at all?
Mhm. Okay. It's not a hope, it is something that I will into being, that if nobody goes over the balcony, I will make sure somebody goes over the balcony.
Is this a threat?
No, it's a promise. What are you talking about?
Fair enough. Never mind. Well, it is about 15 feet up, so that will be a d6 and a half of fall damage, just so you're aware.
Yeah, if I can't get anybody over the balcony, then it's gonna be me.
Oh no. Aim for the bar, then it's only a 10-foot drop, so it'll only be a d6. Do not actually do this. Please don't do this. Aiming for the bar will be a bad acrobatics check for Fig.
hmm
Yeah, fair enough.
But you just said it was possible, so.
Everything is possible. It must be tried. I fully get it. Yeah, no, fair enough. We should be back next week with a full session. I hope, fingers crossed, everything works out fine. Yeah, so tune on in next Sunday. Give me a second, I'm checking my calendar. 25th of August. At 6 Amsterdam time or 11 Central Standard Time. Or Central Time still? You're not on. Yeah, Central Time. For some more shenanigans, D&D shenanigans, all of that jazz. With, of course, May, who you can hear here playing Fig. along with my 3 other players: Feather playing Throgan, a Kenku artificer; Rose playing Cam, a druid with some hidden secrets; and Sunny K playing Yuka, the Witch of the Woods. So yeah, come join us if you want to watch a live play. Otherwise, that is all from now. So thank you very much for being here with us tonight. I hope your games are good. I hope your games are fun, and I hope you get to play once more with feeling. Say goodbye, May.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
In Baratar's crowded ports long for the seas to weave. That line between the sand and wave is now our boundary. When once we prayed storms stay away, we now beg for the rain, that
Even though
it
it
may
was like,
wash away this dreaded illness
I
we
must drink more water.
contain.
I must drink more water. Mhm. Mm. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Is it with my with the my in-depth looking fig that he's